If you have sensitive watery eyes like me and you want to get this look and turn it into this, stay tuned because I'm going to show you all the things that I did. First things first, please prime your face. This is a Halloween look and you need primer. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to color correct with my LA Pro Girl concealer and Fawn. And I'm just covering up any dark spots that I kind of want to hide and I don't want peeking through, and getting rid of like my stubble and the dark spots I have from having hirsutism. That's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I'm covering this up. I'm going in with a brush. See how I'm stippling and I'm just patting on top, not swiping. I'm trying to slow down and show you. Tap it in, do not swipe. I promise y'all, it'll give you better coverage. It'll look better. The texture will look better. You'll look smoother. Tap, not swipe. You are working with a gel liner or a pencil liner or precision liner. It's great to go in with a super sharp point. It's dull down now, but make sure you sharpen it. Draw wherever you want your liner to go, what you want your liner to be. Then go in with a translucent setting powder. Once you finish with that, you're going to lightly dust it off. Then you're going to take a precision liner brush and go over with a black eyeshadow just to lock it in place and make sure it doesn't move, especially when you're doing the under eye and your waterline, because this area has natural oil, natural like tears and moisture that's going to move it around and shift it around. And if you want everything to stay sharp, whether you're doing a Halloween look or everyday look, you have to set it with a black shadow. All right, let's do this side. We're gonna do the same thing, just tapping over that line with this black shadow. And of course, if you mess up just a little and you got some fallout, just take makeup remover on a Q-tip, go back in and clean up, crisp up those lines once again, just like that. And if you have fallout, make sure you take a clean Q-tip, clean your lines up, and then I wipe up all that fallout that I usually have. And this is why I like to do my eyeliner before my powders or my base or anything, just because I know how my eyes water, I know how they get, and I like super precise looks, and I just haven't found the products that work best with my watery eyes and my skin after I've already powdered and everything. Now I do things a little out of order because of my watery eyes, so instead of doing my base and my eyeshadow and all the other things, I'm now going to curl my lashes and then throw on some mascara, because if I do that after I've powdered, once again my eyes are going to get to watering and this whole area is just going to be destroyed. I'm going to take my eyeshadow base and my color corrector that I use to cover my dark spots, and I'm going to take a flat paintbrush and I'm going to mix those right like that, and then I carve out my brow and set my eyelid. Here you see me picking up more product just to make sure my brush has the right amount and I can go in one even stroke. Now I know going in with a base after eyeliner seems a little crazy to some people and it can be very tedious having to do this, but I promise you all, this is what I found that works best for me as somebody who has very sensitive eyes. My eyes can water in the drop of a second. It can just be the wind blowing the wrong way and they start to watering and they start to creasing. So I have to go in this way because I like to make sure that my liner is precise and it's down. And whenever I try to do a very precise liner on top of a base, on top of any eyeshadow or powder, it just does not work well for me. I know I probably need to switch to a liquid liner with a brush tip, but it's kind of hard to find those now on the market. So I got to work with what I got. That's what this channel is all about. And I worked with my pencil and then I found a way to kind of finesse it. Alright, now getting into eyeshadow, I'm just going over with this like orangey bronze color and I'm putting those together and I'm going to put those directly in my crease. Patting it in first before I blend it out because my crease is going to crease. Like you have folds, you have lines there, so work with what you got instead of trying to change it. Now I'm going in with a little bit of a darker shade to kind of blend that out and blend it upwards towards the brow and create some type of definition on my eye shape. Whenever I want to diffuse a color, I go in, as you see here, with a longer brush that is lighter. The bristles are less dense and I hold it at the top of the brush, not near the bristles, so that I can get a lighter, more even distribution. Alright, now you see me switch to a shorter, more dense brush because we need a bit more definition, especially in this kind of like contoury area where the nose bridge hits the eyelid. I want to connect those and I want to deepen it, so I go in then. Now I switch to the more concealer type brush on the other side of this brush. I go in with a very light powder and I'm highlighting the under eye or the under area of my brow bone because I want that to stand out against the contour that goes into the nose contour. Take your time with this and use it to also set that concealer that you placed before to kind of carve out this area. Take your time. Light it on, then pat it in. Make sure you go back in with the other side to blend it all together, and then boom, you'll be done. Now we're moving on with the powder puff. I'm going to take my white or cream shade and I'm going to go in on my lid. Take the corner of your powder puff and go in with your lid and pat that in. You really got to work this in. You really got to pat it in. This helps to give you that brightness, but also to set that area. Back in with the darker brown to redefine that nose bridge. Then I'm going to take that concealer type brush I used on the brow bone or underneath the brow bone, and I'm going to get in that inner corner really good just to make sure everything is covered and I don't have any spots that are not covered. And these little like tips and tricks are really what like pulls the whole entire look together. Like going back in, making sure you're going over the crease and then reblending, and then going back in and then reblending, kind of just builds it up to where everything is a bit more neater, everything is a bit more blended and polished. So I'm going back in here and rediffusing out that crease area after I just built it up with that white cream shadow. I'm going in first with Rare Beauty in the shade 400W. Here, 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 and then here as well. Down the nose. And I'm going to snatch my cheeks just a little with this here. I'm going to use this flat brush to kind of connect and start building out my line of this like highlight area. And I'm going to make sure I'm getting up close as possible to the under eye, but not going over that black eyeliner that we set. That's why I'm using this flat paintbrush here to not interrupt anything, but to blend it out up under the eye. Same thing over here. And where I naturally contour. And then up this area. And then this area too. And then once I have it defined, then I go in with my concealer brush and then just kind of pat it into place. And then pick up any extra that I don't need to, just in case you went in with a little too much. Make sure I'm blending into the blush. Same thing here. You see how I'm like lifted and I have that kind of like tiger eye effect now, which is really cool. And then I do the same here. Pat into place for the nose, pat into place up here. And to avoid a harsh line up here, I like to then go back in with the brush I used to put down my bronzer or foundation and just paintbrush again. Pick the super light shade up and then kind of paint it in place of where I want it to go. Like that. Just a little over here. Same thing over here. And I'm actually gonna bring some up here because I want these lines to kind of connect. Like that. Like that. Pick up a little bit more. Under here. Under here. Alright, now I kind of have my highlight mapped out and I gotta kind of move quick because this dries down really fast. So do that. When my concealer dries down a little fast, I like to take a little rose water and spray it on the brush, or you can use like a setting powder too. Not powder, spray. And then take that and then go in and start blending out that concealer. Because I also don't want my under eye to get too dry, because I feel like sometimes that can cause my under eye also to water. Making sure I keep my lines and stay within my lines and not muddy up my liner. It's okay if I muddy up this area because I can go back in and kind of blend it out when I set it with the powder. But we don't want to go over the black eyeliner and mess that up, or this kind of like contour area. I'm gonna do a nose. Like that. All right, y'all, that is it for part 1. And part 2, of course, I'm gonna show you how I powder everything down and I get started on the tiger stripes. But if you want to see that, make sure you like and subscribe.